As you guys know, March 19th is a big day. Saturday is a big day. UFC's return to the O2 Arena in London. There's also KSW. I mean, there's a lot of MMA going on. There's PFL. There's, like I said, KSW. There's all kinds of things going on. But we here at MMA Fighting, while we acknowledge all of those big events, while we think they're all worthy of our time, our coverage, our consideration, we're actually not most excited for those events. Not even UFC London is at the very top of our leaderboard. The event that we are most excited about is going down at the same time as UFC London at around 3 o'clock. It's Celtic Gladiator 31 going down in Commerce, California at the Commerce Casino. Everyone knows about the Commerce Casino. It is world-renowned. Celtic Gladiator 31. That's this Saturday, March 19th. And the people's main event, the most anticipated fight on the card, is a battle between two undefeated fighters, Fritz Freudendorf, I might have screwed that up, going up against a very familiar name and face, a pillar of MMAfighting.com. There's the poster right over there. You've probably seen it by now all over the internet. It is a massive, massive deal. It's the battle of the unbeatens. Someone's O has got to go. It's Frauendorf versus Leydon. Casey Leydon, a.k.a. Eugene Casey Leydon, a.k.a. the head videographer / editor at MMA Fighting, dating back to 2009 when we were known as AOL Fan House. Our good friend Casey Leydon making his MMA debut after weeks and months of training this Saturday at Celtic Gladiator 31. And if you're fighting on a weekend and we're doing a show called the MMA Hour, it's a rite of passage, if you ask me, to come on the show before the big fight. We had to have our good pal Casey Leydon on the program before his highly anticipated mixed martial arts debut. And so without further ado, for the very first time, I do believe, let us go to the Zoom machine. And there he is. Mr. Casey Leydon.
Hey, Ariel.
How are you, sir? This is amazing.
Oh my God. This is that intro. I don't know. I'm more nervous. I'm more nervous right now than I think. I'm pretty sure I'm more nervous now than I will be on Saturday.
That's absurd.
That was, yeah.
I don't believe that
I was waiting. I was just like, my heart was like, just say my name. Just start
I know. You got to build it up. You got to build it up.
Good job.
Did I butcher your opponent's name? You know him, right? He's kind of like a friend of yours.
He's not a friend, but we have trained together throughout the entire program. That I guess we'll talk about that later. The Winter Warrior program, and he was one of the other 19 guys in the class, and so we know each other. But once they paired us up together, about halfway through, we knew we were going to fight. Then I think we kind of we were just we were polite.
Sure. Which is cordial, respectful, classy.
Cordial, yeah.
I want to go all the way back. Let's go all the way back here. We need to build up to this. Your introduction to the world of mixed martial arts, I do believe, was back in 2006 when you were hired to work on a project for a promotion that eventually became known as Elite XC. Is that correct?
That is correct. I was living in LA. I was an editor and a documentarian, and a producer from Jimmy Kimmel, the executive producer from Jimmy Kimmel Live, was working on a little side business that would eventually be ProElite.com. And essentially I was at the Jimmy Kimmel offices, and they're like, "Hey, Casey, are you busy right now?" I'm like, "No." And it's like, here's $500 and a bunch of Jungle Fight DVDs. Can you rip these and make a highlight sales reel? And that was the eventual sales reel, the sizzle reel, that they used to get money for ProElite.com or ProElite, and then ProElite eventually became Elite XC, and I eventually came on as an editor and worked on promos and videos for Elite XC, and that was kind of my introduction to the world of mixed martial arts, and that's where I met you.
Yes, but you did work on a project that has never seen the light of day, which I think is one of the all-time great things. Did you lose me? Because I hear you.
Oh, why did my sound go out? Not now.
I hear you just fine.
Oh no. Oh, turn up. Sorry.
Oh, it went to the phone. You hear me now?
Oh, hello. Oh, there you go. I hear you now.
What
Sorry.
an amateur, this guy. Unbelievable.
I know. That was actually Esther Lynn's fault.
I know. I saw someone over there. I don't know. You have a whole like video crew following you now? That's how big of a big shot you are? Jeez.
Yeah, it was Esther Lynn's fault. Yeah.
Esther, of course, legend, all elbows. So I have to. Oh, here's AK Lee. Everyone writing me here. Okay, so you shot a project in that time period that never saw the light of day, which I think still would be like a piece of MMA gold. You followed the great Jared Shaw, AK Scala. You know what bumps me out? I feel like most fans don't even know who Jared Shaw is right now.
That's a shame.
Isn't that a shame?
Schooling in the streets. Yeah,
man.
Yeah. So So I was hired. Yeah, I did a pilot, and we called it Son of Shaw. It was basically to kind of sell Jared Shaw, aka Scala, the son of Gary Shaw, the head promoter of Elite XC, and he was going to be the next kind of the new Don King, the young Dana White.
Yes.
And I just followed him around, and it was weird. It was weird.
And I believe the first, I'll never forget this. I believe the first UFC pay-per-view that you ordered was UFC 69 when Matt Serra knocked out GSP, correct?
Yes. And my big takeaway from that was like everyone talks now like, oh, that was like the biggest upset ever. But I remember watching that and going, I don't know, Matt Serra looks pretty tough. His arms are big. I didn't think it was upset at all.
Right.
Like it wasn't until years later, 'cause I didn't follow it to where it was strictly a job.
Right.
This was just a job. It paid the bills. And I was like, cool, cage fighting. This seems crazy. And it was simply a job. For the longest time, it was really just a job.
So 2006, 2007, I start to travel to events. 2007, 2008, I'm going to Elite XC, Strike Force, Affliction, etc. And I would see you at these Elite XC events because you were working for the promotion in the back. 2007, 2008, 2009, you part ways with Elite XC, and I tell the head of AOL Fan House, who I'm working for at the time, because when I was going to events, every time I would go to a different location, I would have to hire a local videographer via Craigslist. So if I'm in Stockton, I have to peruse Stockton videographers on Craigslist to find someone. I got some okay ones, some total lemons, and I was tired of doing that. So 2009, I make the pitch to Brian Tucker, who's still with MMA Fighting, the leader over there. Can we hire Casey, who's no longer working for Elite XC, to be the guy so that we don't have to, find a new person every time we go to these events? The first event that we worked on was, do you remember?
UFC 104.
UFC 104 in Los Angeles. We waited for Dana White at the mall over there.
The mall, yeah.
That's right.
I remember him.
And so basically from October to 2009 till June of 2018 when I left, we went all over the world together, and you were the only guy to shoot any of the stuff, all the walk and talks. I tell people this. I was just talking about the Bisping walk and talk, where it was just you and Esther walking backwards, Eddie Alvarez in Philly, Rampage in Japan. You shot all of those.
Connor in Dublin.
Connor in Dublin, of course. Yes, you shot all of those. So I want to give people context as to, because they may not know. You did all of that on your own, edited them up, would like turn it around in hours, no audio person, no lighting person, nothing. Like we're going to DC's room, we're going to John Jones's room before these big fights. Okay, so this is great. You're doing that. This is your job. When does it become, I'm shooting stuff, I'm in MMA media, to I want to start training and getting active in this, and then I'm starting to think about actually competing?
It actually is really Greg Jackson. I met Greg Jackson, and he was like the first kind of person in the sport I met as on the fighter kind of coaching part of it, where I was like, oh, there's more to this than just, bad tattoos and, bright, crazy shirts. That's what it was like. I can't say it enough. Like for the first, I don't know, 6 years or whatever, it was just a job. But I met Greg, and he just kind of, I know we just got along, we hit it off well. And he just kind of, I realized there was more to the sport. I realized these were actual people. And then once I realized these are people and like, oh, these are like dreams, and they try so hard, and there's so much sacrifice that goes into this. And I think maybe once I met Greg, then I was introduced to like Brandon Gibson. Gibson was like, "You want to hit some pads?" I'm like, okay, so we'll go to like the workout rooms and he'll hold pads for me and I'll try it out. And and that's kind of how I kind of learned to I wanted to do more. And then just as a professional who just taking pride in my work, I would do a lot of backstage videos. No, not with you, but like say I'll be like with Leydon McFarland. I'll go backstage, I'll follow her, and there was like just a bit of a disconnect I felt between me being behind the camera and what they're going through. And I felt training I would just know more and understand more. And essentially the next logical step was just like, freak it. I mean, let's fight. And that's pretty much how I got there.
And so you do this through this program that you just mentioned, Wimp to Warrior, which is no longer called Wimp to Warrior, right? It's now called Alta.
Yeah. They currently rebranded it. It's called Alta now. So if I say Alta or Wimp to Warrior, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
But yeah,
so how does that happen?
And that was with, well, the guy that runs the American part of it, is Rich Chow.
Yeah.
Rich Chow, former Bellator matchmaker, former Strikeforce matchmaker, and also former Elite XC matchmaker. And that's how I met Rich Chow way back then. And we've always kind of stayed in touch. We were always friends. And so essentially this only happened because pandemic happened too. That's important to note because, like you said, we traveled all the time, man. Like it was just ridiculous. But once pandemic happened, like kind of all our lives changed. So I was just at home. So I actually had a lot of time to train. And that was when Rich called me about 6 months ago and just kind of pitched this idea. And I was like, yeah, I don't have anything better to do. And that was like, and really, I just felt like I just didn't want to miss the opportunity. He gave me an opportunity. I just didn't want to pass up on it because I felt, well, I'm really going to regret this if I pass up on it because I really had no excuse to not do this. So, Rich gave me an opportunity and I did it. And since I'm not traveling to all these people, I'm not like before pandemic, you and me would be in London right now, pretty much, but we're not. We're at home, we're working, we're doing this stuff. And it made it a possibility. So I just, did it.
How old are you?
I'm 44.
44. I think that's important because I think some people would be afraid if they're in their 40s to do something like this. Up until this point, how long have you been training?
I've been training about 4 years, but it was nothing consistent. It was like I'll go to a couple like Muay Thai classes down the street at a local gym. But then I'll do it for a couple of days, but then I'm on the road for 2 weeks and everything. And it wasn't until I just got stuck at home that, I just started like, all right, I'm just going to do this for real. And, I don't know like, if you remember, like, I mean, I don't want to say I was like a, big dude or anything, but like I was over 200 pounds and now I'm under 170.
Wow. Yeah. I was going to ask you, when you started, how much did you weigh?
I topped out about 210.
210 and now today, how much you weigh?
But 168, 169. Yeah.
And the fight, the weight class on Saturday?
The weight class actually would be, it's technically is a middleweight fight, but because it's an amateur fight, our coaches didn't want us to really cut weight. So both of us are kind of have a gentleman's agreement. We're gonna come in. He's gonna come in around under 180. I'll be around 171. I actually have to gain a little bit of weight.
Okay. When did you find out about this date? Like, how long has this opponent been on your mind?
We found out about this date probably about 2 months ago. So the whole time we knew we were going to fight at the end, but they didn't tell us they want us to go through about 10 weeks of the program, about halfway through the program before they kind of matched us up. And then about halfway through, 2/3 through, they asked everyone in the class, kind of privately, who do you want to fight? Do you want to fight? You don't have to fight if you're in the but who do you want to fight? And I actually picked him because I thought he was the toughest dude. He's only 23. I think he's only 23.
Wow.
We've sparred a lot. He's faster. I think he's a little longer than me. He's taller. I was like, okay, this will be a tough fight. And and I felt I needed that motivation to really, to do this. And it turns out fear of getting your butt kicked is really, for me, the best motivator to make myself a better mixed martial artist.
Yeah, like having that date, having that opponent in your mind. Now you're like, okay, it's January 19th. It's February. Is there a lot of anxiety? Are you nervous? Are you dreading it? How would you describe the emotions as you are approaching that date?
It goes, man, it's a roller coaster. It really is. I can't, like, I have a hard time sleeping at night because, you're just visualizing. I'm not even trying to visualize it, but like, I just can't get it out of my head. I'm going through best case scenario, worst case scenario. Oh, go out there, take him down, sub him in like 30 seconds. Oh, I go out there, he does a flying switch kick and knocks me out. I go back and forth all the time. So it's a lot of anxiety. It's a lot of fun. I always just go mostly anxiety, and it's all over the place. But it's even more than that. Like, now that the fight's coming up, like, there's a lot of things I just didn't realize are such a big pain in the butt. Like, we have to go. This is actually a commissioned fight, so we go through camo. So I have to do a lot of licensing. I've had to see. I did a cardiologist. I had to do EKG. I had to run on a treadmill. Wow. I had to do all that blood tests, do my physicals, just dealing with all the kind of bureaucracy of fighting too was something I wasn't expecting. And that's been kind of a new thing. And doing this, this is the first time I've ever talked about myself. It's weird talking about myself for this long. It's just odd. Like, I'm on like podcasts and stuff. I'm talking about other people. I'm talking about, fights and stuff. Right. Like, this is just talking about me. So everything just feels weird. And so it's just it's a very unique experience. I love the experience. I love that I'm going to have this story to tell, but in the process of creating that story, it's a ride. Like, I really have just new emotions, honestly.
Yeah. Are you in your mind thinking this is a one and done, or do you think you'll do it again? Obviously, tough question to ask before, but in your mind, what are you feeling?
In my mind, I want to do it 3 times.
Oh, damn. Okay.
So just, but everything really, I'll see how I feel Sunday.
Right.
Because, and a lot of it has to do with Esther, my wife, all elbows. It's just because one of the coolest parts about this is actually going through this process. I hear, we hear so many interviews with fighters and they say certain things, whatever. And a lot of times we hear, this is a team sport. It's not an individual sport, mm-hmm. But like, we get that. But now I understand it because there is zero, I don't want to say zero chance I couldn't have done this by myself, but like, it would just been much more miserable to do this by myself, to, not have Esther kind of help me with my meals, do the grocery shopping, just wash all my dirty laundry. I have so much dirty laundry. I have so many wet rash guards. It's incredible. And even my coaches, just taking time out of their day to support me and help me. And these are things that if I do it again, like, Esther's part of that journey too. Like, as much as I'm fighting and doing all this, she's going through the same type of just anxiety and work too, because to take care of me, to make sure, I'm going to show up fight day the best I can be.
Yeah.
So it's, I want to do it 2 more times. We'll see though. We'll see.
Who's your corner?
Actually, my corner, this is kind of unique too. Actually, I'm not using the Warrior coaches. I'm using my coaches that I originally started training mixed martial arts with. So my garage is right here. And in my garage, I converted it into a dojo. And just right before I came out here, my coach came over with one of my training partners, and we were just working on takedowns on the wall. So he will be cornering me along with one of my training partners.
I thought maybe like Greg would come in. I mean, you could have an all-star. You could have Patrick Cummins, Angela Hill.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Next fight. I mean, but like I said, I owe so much to my coach.
Of course.
He he has to be in my corner. He's been there. He's been with me so long, and yeah.
And for those that don't know, this is an amateur fight. So what are you wearing, and what are the rules? Like, is it the same amount of rounds, same length, and you're wearing rash guard, right?
Yeah. They're gonna have us wear rash guards. We have thin shin pads. They're not like sparring shin pads. They're pretty thin, but we will be wearing. You've seen like amateur fights. They just have the shin pads and regular MMA gloves. But and it's gonna be. I thought it was gonna be 3 3s. Actually, it's 3 2-minute rounds. So 2-minute rounds are a freaking sprint.
Yeah.
So So it's that kind of the 2-minute. I wish it was a longer round actually, because I feel I'm more of a cardio as a weapon type fighter. So with 2 minutes, it's just like there's just no stalling. You just go, and that's what we've been training for the last like 3 weeks. It's just like 6 minutes of basically 6 minutes of hell. So that's 3 2-minute rounds.
What's your walkout song?
I'm not sure yet.
Oh, okay. All right.
I don't know. I don't see. That's the thing, because I've never done this before.
Yeah.
I don't know. Do I want a happy song? Because I like everything, a happy song. Do I want like a real mean song? I think I'm gonna go with like a like mean, a lot of yelly stuff. I think I'm gonna go with something heavy, but I don't know. Like sometimes I want to walk out to like some like Robin or Carly Rae Jepsen too. I don't know, but but the walkout song, it's so funny too. Like I thought the walkout song would be like my walkout would be like kind of this big moment. But like it's almost an afterthought right now, because I'm not worried about that. I just want to get in there and hear the bell. But like before this whole thing, and like I'm like, ooh, what's I was excited thinking about walkout song, but now I'm just like, let's just play it. Let's go.
Yeah. Can we watch it?
Yeah.
Will it be streamed?
Yes, it will be streamed. I don't know the link yet. Apparently, they're still working out a broadcast deal. Like, I don't want to say the names. I might have been given information, but it will be streamed either on some platform. So I'll be sharing it. We're supposed to find out like tomorrow or Friday.
Okay. I mean, MMA Fighting YouTube would be a nice little platform.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
Would be.
Or you can contact me and buy a ticket.
Okay.
And yeah.
There you go. We have your Instagram right over there so people can show up. I found a picture of us from 2011 in Pittsburgh. This is the only one of us on Getty. Do we have that picture here? This is us interviewing John Howard. I don't think you can see it because you could probably just see me, but the audience can see it. This is us in Pittsburgh, June of 2011, the infamous event where Nate Marquardt got pulled like a day before, if you recall. I was working for NBC Sports in addition to AOL. And you look very young. I look very young. John Howard looks the same, but it's just that was 11 years ago. Silly thing to say, but I am proud of you, my friend. This is an amazing thing.
Thank you, man.
I am looking forward to this more than I am, Patty, Aspinall, Hooker, Molly, all that. It makes me even a little emotional just thinking like how far you've come from when I first met you. You didn't even really care for MMA. Now you're a freaking MMA fighter with his own Tapology and Sherdog page, for freaking sakes. And you're going to do this more than once. And you're going to go out there and you're going to win via knockout in the first round. Connor has already made the pick on Tapology. We're all behind you. And on Monday, you come back on the show and you let everyone know that you made the walk. You made it happen. You got that W. You're now 1-0. The other dude is 0-1. And we're moving on to 2-0, baby. Good luck to you, my friend. Can't wait.
Awesome, man.
Godspeed. Thanks, Casey.
Thank you, Ariel.
Yes. Let it rip, baby. There he is, Casey Leydon, our longtime friend and videographer, going out there to make his dreams come true. Go to trainalta.com if you want to sign up for the program that he just went through. Wimp to Warrior is the name that it was once known as. It's now known as Alta, trainalta.com. Great people. Rich is one of the all-time best. DC has a program that he runs in association with them in Gilroy. Laura Sanko, I know, is involved. My good friend Zach Rosenfield is involved as well. It's a really amazing thing. Even if you don't want to become a fighter and make that walk like Casey, it's an amazing thing to help you get in the best shape of your life, mentally and physically. But I am so pumped for this, and I am very, very, very proud of Casey.